Development series. This is our business development series where we bring business related topics such as branding, and I cannot wait to introduce our speaker. But just before that, I would like to remind that this session is approved for 1 CCE point, which you will be receiving 1 week within 1 week after this webinar. Clive, if we can share the slides, please. All right, next one. So 1 CCE point for this session. And once again, thanks that you joined on Wednesday evening. We have an amazing guest and a speaker, and I think some of you know Eugene Seah. I would like to introduce him. Eugene, from totally unknown coach 10 years ago to being featured in the Sunday Times and many other news channel, radio shows, newspapers. Eugene Seah, PCC, is one of the most credible voices in coach branding today. His proudest moment is delivering a TEDx talk on a topic close to his heart: how to avoid the corporate zombie virus. He is also an incoming president of APSS, Asia Professional Speakers Singapore. So, with our virtual hands and applaud, let's all welcome Eugene Seah and the important topic: how to stand out from the crowd in coaching. SuperBrand Me. Eugene, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Irina. It's an honor. I've always admired coaches because obviously we are not doing it just for money. We do it for meaning, and we can impact lives. And then I can't believe it that now I'm one of the coaches. So it's like very surreal. Yeah. And who has a very similar feeling that you feel very surreal and very grateful? Yeah. Can you please use the Zoom chat and just type the feeling that you have being a coach? It could be fulfilled, it could be abundant, it could be joyful, peaceful, like any word that you feel deeply resonates with you, as you embark on this journey to be a good coach. Energized, I love it. Blessed, meaningful, privileged, humbled, yeah, humbled, me too. Purposeful, yeah, purposeful. Edified, wow. Wow. Meaningful, fulfilled, grateful, purposeful. Now we are in 2025, and I believe a lot of us have had previous careers. I myself, I used to be in Singapore Stock Exchange, and after that, Daiwa. Daiwa is a very little known bank, but it's like number 3 in Japan. And then I was headhunted by Nomura after that. Yeah, then I realized in the corporate world, very few people describe their life as meaningful, fulfilled, grateful, privileged. A lot of people, all of us have been coaching for some time, I assume, right? At least to fulfill our hours, right? At the very least. Then a lot of people will tell us they are burnt out, right? They are lost, they are walking around in circles, they are unrecognized. So it's almost like opposite of all the words we've been using. So before I talk about personal brand, I just want to establish the fact that this is a very unique career. And one of my greatest fears and anxieties and worries is that we don't do well. It's so meaningful that we should continue doing this for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Yeah, but it's very tragic if we have to give up this meaningful career simply because we cannot earn enough. So this question is very sensitive, so I won't expect anybody to answer. So it's a rhetorical question. Like, are we earning enough? Right? Because if you cannot pay bills, if your spouse is chasing you, say, hey, how long do you want to do this coaching thingy? Right? Can you please look for a real job? Right? I thought last time you were quite okay as an engineer or accountant. Like, why do you quit a 25K per month job, and now how much do you charge again? What? $200 per session? What's wrong with you? You might as well teach tuition, right? Physics, chemistry. So there's no need to raise hand for this. Very, very sensitive, right? But I really sincerely hope by the end of this session, right, around 8, 8:15, we will at least have some very concrete, tangible, practical strategies to brand ourselves. Not because we want to be famous. I am pretty sure like very few of us here want to be famous, like Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. I don't want to be famous, definitely. Yeah, but how do we be so well branded that people come to us, right? Instead of us trying to chase them down like those insurance agents like chasing after you at Suntec City. So how do we become highly sought after so that people will trust us enough so that after one chemistry call, they will say, sure, oh, you charge 5,000. Yeah, sure. I click on the link, I'll pay. Rather than say, oh, let me discuss with my wife or let me think about it. Yeah, although coaches are uh, miles apart from insurance and property, but at the end of the day, it's a bit like sales, isn't it? When people don't click on the link and make payment, you can keep coaching for free. You feel very fulfilled, but I think our family member will be a bit worried after a few months. Also, with that in mind, I would like to invite all of us to take out any kind of tablet, writing paper, whatever you feel comfortable. But please do take notes. And I promise you, this is my personal guarantee that you will at least have 3 very practical strategies by the end of tonight. Okay, so who is 100%, okay, not 50%, 60% distracted, but 100% present and ready to learn? Can you please put 100 in the Zoom chat? And please don't lie to yourself. If you are distracted, please remove the distraction. But if you have a baby there, don't remove the baby, please. Right. Babies will definitely be more important than the webinar. Okay. Yeah, but every other distraction like Netflix, your Facebook beside you, or even your cat. I'm a cat lover also, but please just remove your cat, okay? Cats are very, very distracting. They sometimes walk across your computer, your keyboard. Have a baby. Okay, congratulations, by the way. Okay, I'm about to share a lot of slides, but please don't think that I came here tonight to share a lot of slides. That would be very, very sad. It's very easy nowadays. It's the AI world, right? At the very least, you use ChatGPT or DeepSeek. You can easily say, "Can you please generate 25 slides to teach me how to brand myself as a coach?" You don't need to join this webinar, right? Nowadays, AI can give you a lot of content. So I don't want to pretend I'm ChatGPT. I'm going to share with you what I did. Right, so this is a personal thing. This is not after crowdsourcing the whole internet, and these are the top 3 strategies for personal branding. Also, this is something I did. Some things I did pretty well, some things not so successful. And I'll be sharing both the success and the failure all together with you. Okay, so here goes. PowerPoint time. Let me go to share the screen. 1, 2, 3. Yes, popped up. About 10 years ago, I decided to have a program called SuperBrand Me. At the time, I wasn't a coach yet. I wasn't in ICF. In fact, to be honest, I haven't heard of ICF about 10 years ago. So I just thought like, there seems to be a gap in the market because when I Google personal branding, most of the time I see non-Asians. Right? It's quite obvious I'm an Asian, right? I'm born in Singapore. I'm a Chinese Teochew. So I felt like, how come there is no personal branding strategies for Asians? Of course, you can argue, as long as human beings, we need the same personal branding strategy, but I will argue otherwise. Uh, I know not all of you are Asians, but just bear with me for a while. Asians generally have the opposite mindset of personal branding. That means if I can hide like a wallpaper and still have increment every year, still pay my mortgage, wow, that would be the best, right? Please don't ask me to raise my hand, volunteer for this, volunteer for that. And then during meetings, if the boss say, any suggestions, right? The typical introverted Asian would be the last to say, oh, I have a suggestion. Usually we will be looking at our watch and thinking like, oh, I think it's time for lunch or tea break. Yeah, I've been coaching in companies based in Singapore and Asia for 10 years. So I'm not just talking about me. I'm really speaking on behalf of many, many. Of course, not all, right? There's always exceptions. Yeah. So tonight I invite all the Asians and also, of course, the non-Asian who feel very introverted and don't want to stand out, to reframe. If you don't mind, just write the word reframe somewhere in your notebook. Reframe. Why are we standing out? Why are we branding ourselves? I already said it's not for the purpose of fame, right? I don't think we want to be famous. Yeah, so before I review the answer to you, yeah, can you please go to the Zoom chat and type the why? And if you can just share one, two words instead of one full sentence, is even better. Why do we want to brand ourselves if the purpose is not to be famous, if the purpose is not to look arrogant, right? If the purpose is not to stick out like a sore thumb, then why? Why are we even talking about this topic? I will not be sharing the full deck of slides because that's very heavy, but I will summarize into two or three key concepts and we'll share that across to everybody. Yeah, okay, differentiate, to listen, to help as many people as possible. Yeah, okay, to impact for lead generation, personal clarity, help people who need it, mission and vision. Okay, okay. All these are good answers for sure. I have one main answer, and I'm pretty sure all of us are thinking about the same word, but somehow no one wrote it yet. It starts with the letter T. T. Yeah, who wants to guess what that T word is? T. Martin, congratulations. Oh, yeah. Oh, transformation is coaching. Yeah, personal branding is trust. Okay. Yeah, so the whole key thing about why I want to super brand myself is not to make myself feel good, like, oh, my self-esteem is to the sky. I see my face on the front page of Sunday Times, but rather to build trust. Without trust, a coach cannot function. In fact, a coach cannot earn a single cent without trust. And trust is not easy to build, right? And SuperBrand Me is just part of the trust building process. I don't claim to teach you how to build trust with anybody from any country, right? I've not reached that kind of level of mastery. But at the very least, let's think about building trust instead of just thinking about, oh, let me do more lead generation. Let me have more business. Let me double my fees. But all of us come onto the same page and think to ourselves, hey, how do I build more trust with my client? So appearing on a newspaper is one way. It's not the only way for sure. I'm very, very privileged to be interviewed by Sunday Times. This is the live section of Sunday Times. And it took me many years before I was interviewed for this. Yeah, before this were smaller papers like 联合早报 and then certain radio stations like 958, 938, and so on. Yeah, so later I'll share some techniques how to be interviewed by journalists. Please do not pay for news coverage. That one is not a feature. That one is called advertisement or advertorial. Also, I'm not going to teach you how to pay money to appear, but rather how do you have a story that attracts journalists to feature you. Yeah. There are a few misconceptions. I just want to clear it, get it off the table. Yeah, so please don't fake anything. I'm sure by now you have read books about personal branding or watch YouTube videos. Some people will say, just fake it till you make it, just wear a nice suit. And then even though your bank account has only $200, but you look rich and make sure you buy a fake Rolex from Shenzhen. Obviously, don't do that. If you want to do that, don't be a coach. Okay. Yeah, and some people will think that, oh, it's basically about style. How to create a logo that looks like SuperBrand Me, golden against a black background. How do I give myself a fancy name? Like, oh, life coach is so boring. Let's call myself abundance coach. Then people will love me. Right. So it's like all style, but the moment people hire Eugene Seah, oh, he can't coach at all. Right. He doesn't even listen. He's so narcissistic. Also, if it's all style, no substance, it's not personal branding. There's a word for it starting with the letter S. It's called scam. Scam. Yeah, so we don't want to be scammed using the personal branding techniques tonight. And it's certainly not self-praise. I've been coaching for 10 years, specifically personal branding. Life coaching is only for the past 5 years. And then I realized that a lot of people struggle with saying that, oh, I won this award, or like, oh, I got a new certification. And then they say, no, if I'm any good, then my boss will praise me, not me. I don't want to praise myself. Or my colleague will praise me and tag me. I don't understand what planet are you on? Since when did your colleague praise you and tag you? Like, what company are you from? Most people care about themselves. I rarely see somebody who will go out of their way to praise you, right? So there needs to be a certain technique that doesn't look like self-praise, but still people need to know you have achieved ACC, PCC, or you have achieved NLP or something, right? Or else you'll be the best kept secret in Asia. And finally, I know some of us here are introverts, so we may have this mental blockage to say like, I think personal branding is more advantageous for extroverts, right? They have no qualms about going on stage and then saying things like, "Oh, I'm so privileged to be here." So I just want to say, personal branding techniques can also be suitable for introverts, not just extroverts. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm just curious, who here self-declare extrovert, not introvert, self-declare extrovert? Can you put E in the Zoom chat? E for extrovert. Wendy, Melanie, Claudia, Benjamin, Irina, Cynthia, middle, ambivert, Martin, okay, Kavita, Maxime to some extent, situational, okay, not bad, Tony, Malika, okay. Okay, let's see if there's no more. I'm in. Okay, of course, the rest I don't have to ask because it's the other way, right? And of course, some are not sure, which is fine. Yeah, we don't need to box ourselves up. Yeah, in fact, it's even better when we say the word situational, right? That means if I need to be on stage, if I need to network, if I need to write about myself on LinkedIn, I will, right? Nothing will stop me. Wow, that's the best, right? I call this a very open-minded person, very growth-oriented. Yeah, so that's the best. Never box yourself up. So as I mentioned earlier, all of us are supposed to turn up our trust factor. Okay. Uh, at this point, I would like to invite you to be very, very vulnerable. And obviously, if you feel uncomfortable, there's no need to answer the question. Okay. So only those ready to be vulnerable. Or on a scale of 1 to 10, uh, where do you score yourself right now in the trust factor when it comes to coaching? Some of us do career coaching, life coaching, relationship coaching, any area you choose to, right? What is the score you give yourself from 1 to 10? Also, those who choose to be vulnerable, please feel free to write there. So I see 8, I see 9, I see 7. Oh, quite a lot of high score. Very good, very good. Also, I'm going to invite you to just turn up the notch a little bit. That means if you feel that you are 9 already, then by learning tonight, you can turn it to 9.2, 9.3, right? Then you wouldn't say that, oh, what a waste of time. I spent 90 minutes listening to Eugene's story and learn nothing. If you learn nothing, I'm very sorry to you, right? Okay. Yeah, but I sincerely believe all of us can turn up the notch a little bit. And of course, those who are so humble to say you're a 6, please turn it up to 8. Or not 6.2. Or 9 can 9.2, 9.2, but 6 don't turn up to 6.2, okay? 6 turn up to 8, turn up to 9. Yeah. Let's go. So now is the actual concrete things. Okay, just now was all the pre-frame, all the prologue. The question is how? How do we turn up from 9 to 9.2, 6 to 8? Let's do some case study. Okay, all of us have bought mineral water at some point in our life. And if you are very honest with yourself, you most likely did not buy the cheapest mineral water in the supermarket. Okay, so here I am in a supermarket and I was looking at Polar, right? Polar is a Malaysian brand. And then beside Polar is Evian. Evian. For many years as a Singaporean, I didn't know how to pronounce this. I said Evian, Evian. Yeah. Apparently, some French corrected me. Evian is also wrong. Yeah, but never mind. Tonight is not language class. So imagine you are in front of two similar products, very, very similar, right? They are transparent, odorless, tasteless water. Okay. You can argue that you put under a microscope, the components are different, but it's plain water. It's plain water. And in Singapore, you turn on the tap, you get plain water. Okay, so I'm just very curious, okay? You don't have to tell me whether you buy expensive or cheap. That's not my question. I'm just curious. What do you think makes a person, a perfectly intelligent, rational, non-drunk, non-drug person pay more than double for the exact same thing? Okay. Okay. Can you put whatever answer you think is the answer into the Zoom chat? All of us complain we wish we can save money, but I know a lot of people who rather buy Avion than to buy Polar, right? Even though their cash flow is low. So, we need to do some reflection here. What will make us pay so much for odorless, tasteless water? So I see a lot of branding. Can I invite us to break it down? Yeah, because if we say it's the branding, it doesn't really help. Because Polar also has branding, right? You see a logo there? It's a very nice circle. They even use Adobe Photoshop to make it three-dimensional, right? So there is logo also. And then there's a name. It's not nameless water. It's not NTUC water. It's Polar. So the word branding doesn't really help. Okay. Yeah. So can we use other words? Yeah. Okay. Pricing. If it costs more, must be better. Trust. Okay. The word trust also doesn't really help because what makes you trust Evian more than Polar? What components of Evian makes you trust it more? Have you visited the factory? Right? Do you study degree in what hydro something so that you can trust Evian? Perceived, okay? Social proof, okay? Or simply because it's French. Wow, a bit discrimination here. Okay. Baby. Yeah. I think Van or Van have seen some advertisements on YouTube where there's dancing baby. Yeah, so it really sticks to the brain. I call it mind share, or if you don't mind share. So you see a lot of Nike, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, all these brands, right? They just tattoo their name into your brain, right? Without your permission. Or because you see it all the time in bus stops, at Olympic ceremonies, in Wimbledon, right? And then the famous people you chase after, singers, a basketball star, soccer star, they sort of like wear jerseys with the logo there or wear the shoes, right? So you sort of like cannot escape the brand. It is like chasing after you and just trying to plant seeds into your brain. So I call this mind share, right? Reputation, perceived to be safer. Okay, you can see that all our answers, right, are very mindful, very thoughtful. But I just want to say it doesn't really answer the question, right? Yeah, let me make sure I didn't miss any very good one. Okay, Faye says feel good factor. I suppose you mean the dancing baby also, right? Because I look at the bottle, I can't see how it is feel good, right? Both have the exact same kind of plastic bottle, so how does it feel good? Uh, Gordon says Ghana bluff. Okay, now if you cannot say bluff, if not tonight we will learn nothing. We will say like, hey, I don't want to learn this. It is bluffing people. Yeah. Uh, Perception. Okay, Irina talks about perception. So I just want us to write this word, perception. If you are not really good and people perceive you as good, I told you already, it's called scam. Okay. So right now I'm going to assume that all of us are amazing coaches. Or because tonight my scope is not to teach you to be amazing coaches. I'm just going to assume that you are already amazing. Not perfect, but amazing. Right? You have a good intention, you have a purpose for doing coaching, and you are amazing. Okay. So I'm going to assume that. Yeah. So now we talk about perception. Because an amazing coach can have very poor perception. Okay, let's go to coaching now. Don't talk about mineral water. Based on what you see in each other's website, or when you see a coach on stage, or sometimes you see the coach in a networking event like ICF. Can you tell me, without naming anybody, okay, this is not gossiping time. Can you tell me what will give you a poor perception of another coach? Remember, don't put any names, huh? Do not put any names, okay? Yeah, what will give you a poor perception? Like somehow you feel a bit uneasy and you feel like probably I don't want to meet this person for coffee, or if the person send me a coaching package, I'll probably ghost him or her and not proceed with it, not even consider. Yeah, can we now answer this question? Okay. So what would people who don't walk their talk, people who are too salesy. Hey, this one is very important. Please write down. All of us, time to take notes. Yeah. Because this is called group sourcing of ideas. Right now, this Saturday we have an election going on, but right now we are already doing polling. Right now we are doing polling to see among fellow coaches what gives people this icky feeling that, hey, I don't really feel like talking to this coach. I don't feel like engaging this coach. What? What? She charges $5,500. I also won't talk to her. Like this kind of icky feeling. Of course, we try not to be judgmental, but our brain sometimes has no choice but to judge, right? We were born. A baby judges a lot. Did you notice how judgmental a baby is? Yeah. So, over time we get very, very good at judging. Okay, I'm going to read some of it, because these are very, very powerful opinions by your fellow coaches or people who are pushy. So definitely, please write it down. Salesy, pushy, braggy. That's like the very extroverted kind of bad habits. Okay, yeah, but there are also the introverted, not necessarily coming from introverts. Sometimes extrovert also can have introverted bad habits. Like for example, lack of eye contact, shifty eyes, or like not really answering the question when you ask, like, hey, by the way, what do you do? Then you give one word answer. Oh, I'm a coach. How does that explain things? What do you do? I'm a coach. It's like a one word answer. You're almost telling people, please don't engage me. Please don't continue this conversation. I'm not interested to talk. But if you don't say you're a coach, what are you supposed to say? Right? Because if you say anything else, you sound too braggy. Wow, life is so difficult. So difficult. Okay. Yeah, poor dress sense. Hey, Chen Xing sounds familiar. I think we know each other for the past 30 years. Sim Chen Xing. Yeah, so poor dress sense is one possibility. Poor manners, this is like basic etiquette. That means nothing to do with coaching, just being a human being. Sometimes we don't even meet the human being standard. We don't even say thank you, sorry to trouble you. Like just basic human courtesy is missing. So what more coaching skills? Yeah. Gordon talks about something called chemistry, which is why coaching has the first chemistry call. I don't feel connection. Maybe he's famous, but somehow I don't feel it. Yeah, I prefer someone else. Also, that's talking about connection. Claudia talks about being superficial. Can all of us write this word down as well? When we call other people superficial, it may be quite fair or it may be unfair, right? You think about it. When was the last time you actually felt somebody was superficial? In fact, there are 92 people right now. I won't be surprised if at least 20 of you find me quite superficial right now. Yeah, so we go around thinking other people are superficial. Yeah, but right now I would like to invite you to think like what makes someone feel that you are superficial, right? Is it the choice of words? Is it your tone of voice? Is it the way you dress? Like for example, I dress very simply. It's just a beige blazer, right, with a t-shirt inside. Yeah, but imagine if I had worn a hot pink blazer and if my hair was not black but purple. How would you have judged me? Would you feel that, oh, I regret coming to this webinar tonight? Or what if I was putting lipstick, right, as a guy, as a Singaporean Chinese guy, I put lipstick. Would that have made you feel uncomfortable? Would you have felt that I was superficial? Right, I have no answer for you. Okay, all of us are from different culture. I just want to invite you to reflect what would make someone feel that you are superficial. Yeah. Non-ethical, this one I won't talk about it. It's not even talking about personal branding anymore, right? It's talking about like ethics and law. Yeah, and bias. Yeah. Mari Ataka says bias. Some of us, maybe in a certain environment, we call it unconscious bias, right? We are like only talking to certain people who dress well. And then another person, maybe broken English, doesn't dress well. We sort of say hi, bye. The person can feel it. Yeah, even though later we try to justify ourselves, say, no, I didn't have this intention. Yeah, but the perception may not match your intention. But guess which one is in the mind of your target audience? I'm going to say that one more time. The perception that someone has of you may not match your intention, but the one that wins in the end in the mind of your target audience is the perception or not the intention. Yeah. Some people feel like used car salesman. In fact, don't say used car, even New car salesman sometimes feels like a bit snaky, right? Let me try to find new things. Just don't click. Okay, that's chemistry. Not engaging. Talk too much about himself. Lacking in chemistry. Okay, I think more or less we have the same answer already. Okay. Cynthia says ulterior motive. Can we write this down as well? I've heard this many, many times, ulterior motive, or like, oh, this person met me on Zoom with a hidden agenda. Yes, I hear this a lot. Okay, I would like to invite all of us to take this with a pinch of salt. If we keep thinking that, oh, I do not want to Zoom this person because when I Zoom this person with a chemistry call, I have this feeling that I'm trying to sell her something. So straight away, I don't feel like going onto the Zoom call. This is a very sensitive thing. No need to raise your hand for it. But if you keep thinking this way, I would like to invite you to reframe. Right? Because if only the bad coaches right, only the bad coaches are constantly selling successfully. Right? People pay them 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. And then you are supposedly the pure-hearted, kind, empathetic coach who doesn't sell very well. I extrapolate another 10 years, the whole market will be full of very overselling coaches, right? You think about it. Also, please do the market a favor. Please do your friends a favor, right? If you really think you are not the salesy kind of person and you have a very pure intention to help people, then all the more you need to be successful in sales, marketing, and personal branding, right? Because the more you struggle with your inner thoughts that, oh, I don't want to look like hidden agenda, then all the more your clients will choose someone else. Okay. Hey, by the way, does it make sense? Those who think I'm making sense right now in my last paragraph, please just put yes. Yeah, I just want to see whether we are thinking along the same wavelength. And in case you missed what I said, I just want to repeat one last time. Some of us here have very, very good intention, and you think that as long as someone introduce you a client, you will be amazing, very impactful. Yeah, but you just hold yourself back because you feel like, no, I don't want to look like I have ulterior motive. I don't want to look like I'm overselling. I don't want to look like I'm hard selling or pushy. And therefore, you don't even go for the sale, right? Like, for example, people say, think about it. You don't even say things like, when can we make a decision? You think that, oh, this question sounds so salesy. Let people think for 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. Like, don't chase people. Then I'm afraid that within this year, this person who spoke to you will sign up a package with somebody else, right? And that somebody else may or may not be as effective as you. Also, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's move on. So these are the three, I call it pillars, right? Just like any strong building needs a foundation, need pillars. So these are the three strong pillars of personal branding. I actually base this on a concept by Aristotle. Yeah. Okay, let's test our knowledge because I believe at least half of us have heard of Aristotle. Okay, Aristotle said that there are three pillars to persuade somebody else. Okay, it's a slightly different topic. Aristotle has never used the word personal branding. In fact, I don't think he has ever spoken English, but okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so Aristotle said that there's ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay, that's what Aristotle said. By the way, my degree is in film and TV, and I learned this in school when I was about 19 years old. Also, ethos, pathos, logos. Okay, let's test your knowledge without using ChatGPT. Can you give me an English word for ethos? Give me an English word for ethos. Go to the Zoom chat and type. What's an English word for ethos? Ethos is Greek. Yeah, but what's an English word? Okay, ethics. No. I think ego itself, right? Ethos is not. Ethical value. Okay. Okay, let me tell you my answer. May not be the complete answer, but it is integrity is quite good. So ethos is credibility. Or can everyone write this word now? Credibility. Things that we do, things that we say, like for example, walking the talk, right? That's credibility. When we go on stage, we look very engaging, but when we come down off the stage and network, do we still sound engaging? Or do we already straight away come across as arrogant, as snobby, right? So this is called integrity. And if you go online and write a LinkedIn post about like, oh, we should always help construction workers. And then when people have coffee with you, they saw you walk past the construction worker without smiling. That's lack of ethics, right? Lack of integrity. People even use the word hypocrisy. Also, that's ethos. Okay. Don't worry, the 3S will match the ethos, pathos, logos. Yeah, so let's just hold on for a while. Okay, ethos. The second word is pathos, Pathos. Okay, make your best guess. What's the English word equivalent? Yes, Nadia, right? Nadia baby. Wow, my wife is very concerned. I call somebody baby right now. Okay, and then Ursula, empathy. Very good. Also, pathos is about emotional connection. Whether you are able to empathize and also give the perception that you are empathizing, right? Because some people are empathizing but don't give that kind of perception. Yeah, and emotional connection. Okay, so looks like that's the easy one. Okay, so ethos is credibility, or integrity or ethics, and then pathos is emotional connection, or as the word implies, right? Pathos is passion. Passion. Do you look like you are passionately coaching? Or do you look like a corporate zombie coaching because you are paid $200 per hour? Because people can feel the difference. Okay, now the last one is logos. Logos. Okay, logos has nothing to do with Nike logo or Adidas logo. Okay, just to be clear. Melanie, very good. Okay, logos is word, language, reasoning, evidence, logic. Okay, very good. Yeah, all of us score full marks for this. Okay, so whatever I say about the 3S, okay, I would like to invite you to think, hey, wait, is this point relating to ethos, pathos, or logos? Okay, so this is a mental game I would like to play with you for the next half an hour or so. Okay, ready? Can we all take a deep breath? Who is ready for this game of matching the 3S with the ethos, pathos, logos? Please put yes. Put yes. And then we can begin this game. Thank you, thank you. I hope you all don't find it very childish. I'm always asking you to type words in the Zoom chat. Well, that's almost like the only way to make sure you're still mentally with us. Okay, now the first S is substance. So when we say someone has substance more than style, then you know, wow, this person is very learned, very intelligent, right? This person has very strong values. So the word substance basically means quality, right? Quality, man or woman of substance. I would like to break it down further. Substance can have a few components, okay? Yeah, this is the analogy here. Our factory is the Swiss Alps, and therefore we have substance, right? Because we didn't manufacture this in the factory, it is from the Swiss Alps, which is not true, okay? I think somebody should report them to the police for this. Yeah. So let's talk about us, human beings, okay? Forget about mineral water. How do we show our substance? In fact, do we even know what substance we have? I would like to invite you to reflect right now. Okay, this is supposed to be an interactive thing, not a speech. So please, right now, reflect about this. Number one, what kind of attitude would you describe in your coaching philosophy? What's that attitude called? Do you have a word for it? Please write it down on your paper. Not in the Zoom chat, on your paper, on your tablet. Or write down what kind of attitude describes your coaching approach. If you're not sure what words to use for attitude, you can go ChatGPT, say, can you name me like shortlist 10 attitudes that a coach should have? And then you can use it as multiple choice from there. Yeah. Last time I used to give people multiple choice, but with ChatGPT, there's no need to do that anymore. Okay, number two, what skill set do you have? Of course, you can argue I have ICF coaching skill set, right? I have active listening skill set. Yeah, but like what, 20,000 coaches all say I have ICF coaching skill set. That doesn't really help you. Right? So can you describe what other skill sets do you have? Sanjeev says the attitude of confidence. Very good. That's definitely one word you can use to describe your attitude. Or like Penny says, the attitude of partnership. Or that means my attitude is not of a vendor and client relationship, but rather both of us are peers and we are partnering. Yeah. So that's another kind of attitude. Penny, very good. Skills. Experience, okay, you can't really say experience is skills, but at least we are getting closer. Also, if you have 10 years experience coaching, obviously, that sounds more skillful. The perception of more skills than the person with only 2 months. But don't worry, those who just graduated 2 months ago, you have hope. Okay, I'll teach other methods. Yeah, but if you have 10 years, 15 years, if you have white hair, if you have no hair, all these actually give the perception you have more skills than others. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Right. But definitely when I send a C-suite to a coach, I would like the coach to look older than the C-suite. Yeah, but if it's like management associate, those 24-year-olds to 28, I think the person shouldn't look too old. Okay. Right. Because management associates, they are very judgmental. All these millennials, Gen Z, they want someone who looks just roughly 5 to 10 years older than them. Right. So they may think that, oh, this person has a skill set of connecting with me as a Gen Z. Or even females, right? I mean, last time when I was 16 years old, I read a book, Men Are From which planet? I can't remember. Men are from a certain planet, women are from another planet. Yeah, Mars. Yeah, and then women are from another planet. Yeah. Venus. Oh, it looks like all of us read the same book. Yeah, so women may, right, give the perception that they have the skills to engage with another female. Again, rightly or wrongly, I don't know, right? But we're talking about perception, remember? Perception. Yeah, and then as a male, right, I'm a Chinese male who has lost my job before. So I may give people the perception that I can help people do a career transition, right? Compared to somebody who has 30 years experience in Microsoft, constantly promoted every 5 to 7 years, right? Will that person give you the perception that he has the skill set to help you with transition? Right? Arguable. Also, I would like to invite you to do some deep reflection now, right? Based on your gender, your culture, your experience, the certifications that you have, more than ICF, of course. Some of us have PMI, project management, no, PMP, project management professional. Some of us have Six Sigma, black belt. Some of us have accounting kind of certification. Let's add it in. Don't hide it. Combine all your skill set together to form what I call a ecosystem or ecosystem of skill sets, so that the accountant feels that, hey, I think even though coaching, you're not supposed to do consulting, you're not supposed to teach me accounting, but I would rather talk to a fellow accountant about my career transition than a non-accountant. Or it could be opposite. Some people are so tired of talking to accountants, they want to purposely look for a non-accountant to help them with the career transition. Right? So there's always a stroke of luck, right? A stroke of luck. Yeah, but at least you need to project your skill set on LinkedIn. Some of you are so humble on LinkedIn. I read your whole LinkedIn. I only see ICF. I don't even know what other skill sets you have, seriously. Yeah, so please don't be too humble. Okay, LinkedIn is a place where you state facts. For example, if you can speak 4 languages, you need to write somewhere, right? Like maybe right below your name, Eugene Seah, 4 languages, English, French, Malay, and Chinese, for example. Right, you cannot be just giving the wrong impression that you speak English, but actually you speak other languages. Okay, please be, okay, vulnerable time, vulnerable time. Who here, after I say all these examples, feels that it is time to revamp your LinkedIn profile? Can you please put me, M-E, me? Or please be be humble and be truthful about this. And by the way, I don't offer this service. Okay, just in case you're thinking, this guy is going to sell us a LinkedIn optimization course. I don't offer this service. Yeah, so you may want to, in fact, there's no need to pay any money for this service. Go to ChatGPT, put your LinkedIn profile there, and tell ChatGPT, say, you are a famous, successful LinkedIn optimization coach. Please look at my LinkedIn profile and give me 10 improvements. Okay. Yeah. Basically, I can go home and sleep already. I don't need to do all this anymore. Okay. So use ChatGPT to do it. And please don't procrastinate. I give a lot of such webinar, and 2 months after I meet people, they tell me, oh, I haven't had time to look at my LinkedIn. I really don't know what happened in between like the 2 months. What do? You took part in Olympic swimming or what? So I only think that people who give birth, have sleepless night are forgiven, right? They are allowed to go for 4 or 5 months without doing anything and just care for your baby. Yeah, but if you have no baby, no infant, Oh, okay. The other one is, of course, elderly parents in hospital. Yeah, but other than that, please don't excuse yourself. Say, oh, I'm busy. Busy with what? Hey, you know, busyness is a fake concept. That there's no real concept called busy. I mean, we are all coaches. I don't want to preach to the choir, right? There's no real thing called busy. The moment you say busy, basically you're saying that I do not believe that optimizing my LinkedIn is that important for my coaching journey, right? That's basically what you're saying. I believe that watching Black Mirror on Netflix is more important than optimizing my LinkedIn. Yeah, so please be truthful to yourself. Okay, the last one. Okay, so the first one was attitude. The second one was skills, and this includes language skills, project management skills. For me, I have personal branding skills. Then the third one is knowledge. Okay, knowledge is very cheap nowadays, right? Last time, wow, knowledge is so valuable. Oh, I'm so knowledgeable. Nowadays, a 12-year-old just using AI can be more knowledgeable than you. So I wouldn't overemphasize on knowledge for your personal branding. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. But if you are like you can't find the attitude to describe yourself and you feel that your skill set is weaker than others, then I guess there's no choice. At least use whatever knowledge you have. Let's say you have a degree in something, a diploma in something, if you have gone for a skills future course in something, then just talk about it. In my personal opinion, not that strong, right? Not that credible, but at least there's something for you to talk about. Knowledge can also refer to something completely not related to coaching, right? Like, for example, I have 3 teenagers in my house. So one day, if I suddenly decide to be a youth coach, I think I'm pretty credible. Right? Yeah, because I can say, oh, having seen so many counselors due to my son's exposure and my daughter's social anxiety, by the way, all these are true stories. I believe that I have some credibility and some knowledge, personal knowledge, to sit down in front of another parent with teenagers who also go through social anxiety and exposure syndrome, right? So that's my personal family knowledge that allows me to be credible for another family. Okay. Okay. Who feels okay? I haven't even thought about the second and third S, but who feels so far this first S of substance has been okay? Let me change my question. On a scale of 1 to 5, how helpful has just this reflection been for you on a scale of 1 to 5? Or be truthful. If you have done this before and it's very repetitive, then just put 1 or 2. Right? But if it's very valuable for you that, wow, it's time for me to write all these words on LinkedIn, yeah, then please be generous with your praise. Then tonight I can sleep with a smile on my face. Okay. Okay, let me quickly move on because I want to give more time for Q&A. Oh, by the way, since I already touched on substance, okay, please write on your piece of paper, is substance ethos, pathos, or logos? Okay, don't tell us the answer yet. Just write on your own piece of paper and tablet first. Or is substance ethos, pathos, or logos? Okay, let's continue. Oh, Irina kindly brainstormed together with me and came up with this set of questions that will allow us to do deeper reflection. Okay, so in case we're struggling with what our substance is, you might want to write down the answer to what do clients typically thank you for. And for this, can I invite you to go to the Zoom chat? This is a time to do some humble bragging, okay? Yeah, because I'm the one inviting you to brag. So please go to the Zoom chat and tell us, what do clients typically thank you for? Right? Is it for your empathy? Is it for your smile? Right? Some of us just have a dazzling smile. Is it for your time? Your generous time. Even though it's a 90-minute session, it exceeded by half an hour, but you didn't charge the client extra, right? Is it by your what you call that, like ability to be inconvenienced? Like, for example, you don't mind driving all the way from Jurong to Bedok to meet a client. That means like you bend over backwards for a client. I'm not recommending that, by the way, but if you do that and people thank you for it, then why not tell people, right? Okay, a thinking partner, feel heard, yeah, bring senior leaders together. Oh, very good. Some of us have this kind of aura among senior leaders, then please flaunt it, right? Tell people. One of the easiest way to flaunt is to, of course, take a selfie with the senior leader. It's very easy. If you are coaching, of course, be present, don't take photo. But after the coaching, before people leave, go back to their cubicle, just say like, hey, guys, if you all don't mind, can we take a selfie? And then when you take a selfie, of course, ask for permission. Say, is it okay I post on LinkedIn today? Usually people say yes lah, unless like the loan shark or the bank chasing after them. Yeah, then after that, they will like you can tag them, right? Let's say if a C-suite or senior management is your client, you can tag the person. Of course, don't review what your coach about. That's highly sensitive. Yeah, but you can always say, oh, I feel so grateful to be trusted by senior management to impact their team. Something very vague that doesn't reveal any confidential information. And then, of course, the rest, you must still type something. You cannot like, this is not Instagram, this is LinkedIn. So you cannot just put a picture there with one sentence. Yeah, so you can then say, oh, I remember when I became a coach 6 years ago, I was struggling. Then you can share a bit of story below that picture and a caption. Yeah, later I will go into detail how we can write on LinkedIn. Yeah, but for now, just at least have some bullets, right? What do clients thank you for? Okay, second question. Which you don't have to answer. Okay, don't have to answer, but please reflect. What kind of transformation do you deliver? Or if you have not started coaching for a long time, what kind of transformation do you want to deliver? Okay, I'll give you a few examples. Personally, I would like someone to convert their scarcity mindset. That means the mindset that I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money to do this kind of thing. Or like I'm an introvert, I don't dare to stand on stage. I want to convert that scarcity mindset into abundance mindset. So that is my brand, right? That is my transformation that I want to deliver. Yeah. How about you? You don't have to share on Zoom chat right now, but can you write it down on your tablet or paper? What transformation do you want to deliver? Like, for example, clarity. Some people for past 10 years of their life go round and round, but the moment you coach for 3 sessions, the person sees clarity and stops walking in circle and start moving forward, right? So that could be a kind of transformation, right? Or some of you are very specific to, let's say, women empowerment, or let's say single mothers or ex-convicts. So it could be a transformation of getting rid of addiction, or leaving a very toxic spouse, right? So all these could be the transformation you deliver. Okay. I see a few answers. Larry says, I transform plans into action. Yeah, so that is very powerful. And then Claudia says, I turn challenges that people experience into opportunities. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so please remember, when you write all these words, put into ChatGPT or DeepSeek and ask them, is there a better phrase that can describe the exact same meaning? Or because if not, everybody always say, I turn challenges into opportunity. Then once again, we don't sound very unique. Okay, so always go through ChatGPT and ask for a more unique way to describe yourself. And the last one, what emotional experience do you want your clients to associate with you? Wow, this is a very powerful question. Thank you, Irina. Very powerful. Yeah, I must confess, even as a SuperBrand Me coach, I rarely think about this question. Yeah, so let me now reflect about myself and then answer on the spot. Okay. Okay, for me, Eugene Seah, I feel that these 10 years, right, the clients I've coached generally describe me as very vulnerable, right? So, like, for example, you're all strangers, but I straight away tell you my son has exposure and my daughter has social anxiety, which I appreciate if y'all don't post on social media tomorrow about it. Yeah, my wife will disown me straight away. So these are like vulnerability. And I find that it's something quite unique. Yeah, because a lot of people take 2, 3 sessions to be vulnerable. I can be vulnerable in the first 20 minutes. And then my client, because they see how vulnerable I am, right, they start to be vulnerable. Yeah, and I really, really appreciate it, because if something can be done in 1 session, why do you need like 5 sessions to achieve the same result? Also, emotional experience. Some of us are very bubbly and fun. So you can say, oh, my clients feel very relaxed, very fun-loving. There's nothing wrong with that, even though it's coaching, right? We all need to feel relaxed sometimes. Yeah, or some people, you can write the word powerful, because there's no other word to describe. After the coaching session, you just feel like, oh, I don't know what to describe, but I just felt like something very powerful just happened. It's like power just came through my body when you were asking me questions just now, right? So these are words you can use to describe. By the way, even though I'm a coach, I have paid people for coaching before. Yeah. I'm curious, who here has paid other people, not ICF, I'm talking about like maybe American, Australian coaches or whatever coach, for coaching before. Nothing to do with certification. Can you please put yes if you have paid other people for coaching you before? Quite a number. And for those who haven't had a chance, can I invite you to please pay somebody for coaching, right? Because there's nothing like the experience of being the client. It's very valuable, right? So when I say powerful, I remember when I paid somebody 16,000, okay, $16,000 for coaching, and I felt like, whoa, whoa, like I couldn't find any vocabulary for it. I could only say like, wow, today it has been very powerful. And of course, I cried during the session, and there was some points where I felt angry and I started shouting back at the coach. That was really a powerful, transformational session. Yeah, I would like to invite all of us to think like, do you also want your client to go through this kind of emotional experience? No obligation, but it will be very, very helpful for your brand and your credibility. Okay, so once again, thank you, Irina, for the questions. This is my LinkedIn profile, right? You can have a totally different one. It's totally up to you. But I would like to encourage you to show your substance in I call this the shelf space. Whenever we go to cold storage, NTUC, there's a shelf space. That means you do not need to reach up to take the thing. You don't need to squat down to take the thing. It is right in front of your eyes. This is called a shelf space. So when someone visit your LinkedIn, very, very, very few people will scroll down. Very few. I mean, like honestly, we're not Tony Robbins, right? We're not someone like super mega famous, right? So very few people would scroll down and spend the next 10 minutes reading everything, right? So most people would just go to the shelf space. So I want to invite us that after tonight, right, as you review your LinkedIn profile, right, scrutinize and be critical about your shelf space. Right? If people do not scroll down, will they know what your substance is? Or this is my invitation for you. And if you find that most of your substance are like 3 scrolls later, right? Like scroll, 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 then I see, oh, wow, this is a certificate you got. These are the languages you speak. Then I'm afraid that on a daily basis, you are losing roughly 10 to 20 clients. Right? Because they visit your LinkedIn and then they couldn't see the substance, then they had to scroll down, so they lost their patience. Okay, who finds this a useful tip? Yeah, just say me. Don't say yes, say me. Oh, okay, thank you, thank you. Also, nothing beats you actually doing it. So remember, after today, don't procrastinate. In fact, tonight, right after we end this Zoom, go into your LinkedIn and start changing some of the words. Yeah. Some of the things you see here can convey substance, right? For example, CSP. CSP is a very unique thing to professional speaker, not coaching. It's called Certified Speaking Professional. So this conveys that I am one of the most established speakers. Then, of course, PCC. Oh, I just realized I used the outdated one. Yeah, PCC, which I didn't put here, conveys that, oh, I'm not ACC, I'm PCC, right? So just put it there. Yeah, and of course, if you have a TEDx before, just put there TEDx speaker, yeah, and so on. So all these conveys substance. Yeah, let me continue. And then if you have a YouTube channel, by the way, who here has a YouTube channel? Can you please put the letter Y? Put the letter Y in the Zoom chat. Who has a YouTube channel? Iman has, Sumi has, Namala has, Irena has. Okay, can I encourage the rest of us to consider? It is not really compulsory. LinkedIn is compulsory, please. Or if you argue about LinkedIn, I don't know how to help already. Yeah, but YouTube is arguable. Okay, it's arguable. A lot of times we want to convey substance through words. That's okay, right? LinkedIn is full of words. But a lot of times, certain skill set that you have can only be conveyed through video. Like, for example, if you are a humorous, witty person, I don't think through words we can sense your humor. right? So that one really need at least a 1-2 minute video. Can I encourage, okay, not compulsory, encourage you to scan the QR code and watch some of my videos as homework, either tonight or tomorrow. Okay, don't wait until 3 days later. I think you will have forgotten who's Eugene Seah already. Also, tonight or tomorrow, please watch some of my videos. And if you want to give me comments, say, hey, this video, you said something offensive, I will have appreciated it. But that's not the point. Okay, the point is, can you learn some of the concepts that I made my video? And then you can use that concept for your video. Also, we call it monkey see, monkey do, at least at the beginning. I give you an example. I call myself a former corporate zombie. Okay, I do that. But if it's just a TED talk, if it's just on LinkedIn, it's not very powerful. So I actually paid $2,500 to a videographer to make a video says 5 worst symptoms of a corporate zombie. Okay, I self-confess that this is very funny. Okay, but please watch it and tell me whether it's funny. Right, this is quite long, 7 minutes long. So at the 2-3 minute mark, if you don't think it's funny, no need to continue watching. Yeah, but if you finish watching 7 minutes and you think it's funny, I would really appreciate it if you either leave a comment below my YouTube or just tell me that it's funny. Okay, yeah, and then you can copy. That means don't be too serious a coach. Some of you I know are as fun-loving as me. Don't come across as a very serious coach. Hire a videographer, make some fun videos as long as it's not offensive. The reason why it's not offensive is because I laugh at myself. Right? I'm not laughing at people. I'm laughing at myself when I was a corporate zombie working in a bank. Yeah. Anyway, okay, enough about YouTube video. Please watch it whenever you cannot sleep. Okay, now in the shortest time possible, I would like you to go to the Zoom chat and just type your number one most unique strength. Okay, and I will choose one of you to give my book, SuperBrand Me. It's a PDF copy, not the actual physical book, to the person whom I think has the most unique strength among those who answer. Okay, so Nadaya says listening. Malika says presence. Penny says passion. Renee says connecting. Cynthia says organic. Okay, this is my first time seeing organic. Okay. Neha says non-judgmental. Larry is reliable. Jenny, introvert. Yeah. Recently I received advertisements that helps introvert coaches be well-branded. Right. So introversion itself could be a strength. You're right. Yeah. And combine what? Sorry, I missed that one. Hold on. Let me just catch it. Combine psychotherapy, somatic experiencing, and also able to use sign language. Whoa. Okay. That is quite unique for sure. Speaking Swiss German for sure. Team oriented, diversity growth. Okay, I'm going to give two of you. And that is Benedict for the ability to use sign language, and also let me see, Cynthia Muyala, who said organic. This is the first time I hear someone describe yourself as organic as a unique strength. So these two are definitely unique. Yeah. Can you all please remind me? I don't want to like fail my promise. So later go to my LinkedIn. I'm inviting Benedict and Cynthia. Go to my LinkedIn, private message me and say, Eugene Seah, you owe me your book. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Uh, of course, it'll be nice to say, please, you owe me your book. Yeah. But by the way, it is a side joke. May not be very funny, but I keep seeing this joke on Facebook nowadays. Whenever you communicate with ChatGPT, can you please remember to say thank you or sorry or please? Because one day when AI become a robot and start killing human beings, right, the only people they will spare are those polite ones. Okay. So I just wanted to get this joke out of my system. Okay, let's continue. Hey, who finds it funny? I'm just curious. Yeah, please put funny or haha if you find it funny, and I am not going to copyright it. Feel free to use this joke in your webinar or coaching. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think my wife has no sense of humor because she doesn't think it's funny. Okay, the second one is called style. Okay, style. Once again, think to yourself, style, is it ethos, pathos, or logos? Don't answer me now. Write down. Or is style, ethos, pathos, or logos? Okay, what do you mean by style? So you see Evian, right? Who has ever bought this kind of bottle before? I'm just curious. Just put yes. Who has bought such a beautiful bottle from Evian before? Wow, Larry. Okay, obviously we know who is quite wealthy in this group. Yeah, please meet them for lunch or for coffee. Yeah, Larry, Tony, and Cynthia. It's gorgeous. And it's one of those bottles you don't feel like throwing away, isn't it? Right? You know, like most mineral bottles you just drink and then throw away. But this one you want to keep. Yeah, so let's learn from Evian how to be stylish. So I would like to invite you to once again reflect. I'm running out of time, so I won't go so deep anymore. Okay, please forgive me. Number one, look at your website, LinkedIn, Facebook. You know what kind of visuals. I'm not talking about your look. Please don't go to Korea for like cosmetic surgery. Right? I'm talking about like logo, corporate colors, your suit, your dressing. You know, even font type. You know what kind of font type do you choose? Do you choose Times New Roman? Which is horrible, horrible. Please do not use Times New Roman. Right? Do you use Comic Sans? Wow, that's sinful. That's downright sinful. Do not use Comic Sans for your website or brochure. Okay, these are called laughable font types. Okay, so but because my degree is in film and TV, that's what they taught us. Do not use Times New Roman and Comic Sans. So that's called visuals. And then of course your photograph, does it look grainy? Is it a selfie, or you actually bother to pay an actual photographer to take your profile picture and take you when you are coaching somebody? There's a very famous coach called Afni Martin, right? MCC, she's my master coach. She's the one who guided me to the journey from ACC to PCC. Go and look at her photos. They look gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, Afni Martin. And I happen to be in a few of her photos, right? So that explains why the photos look gorgeous. Okay, next one. Now wants to throw something at me already. Okay, identity. You know, how do you describe yourself? So for me, I chose the word abundance, right? It's not because it sounds nice, but because I truly embrace it. You know, one day if I don't need money anymore, right? All my children are independent. I've fully paid up my mortgage. I will still call myself abundance coach. This is my identity. You know, like we do coaching, the deepest part of a person is not belief system, it is identity. Right. So abundance is my identity. So can all of us think of a word that describes your identity? And when people say, what do you do? Please don't say I'm an ICF coach, right? Use that identity to describe yourself. Uh, just avoid saying abundance coach if you all don't mind. Okay. So the third one, okay, presence. That means when people are in front of you, either on Zoom or in a networking, you know, what kind of presence do you have? Yeah, this one, some of you have already alluded to that. You know, does this person come across as hard sell or a bit shy, no eye contact? You know, all these will give you style, right? People may not use the word style, but in their brain, they cannot find a word, but basically it's style. You know, that means like you have substance, yes, you have been coaching 20 years, yes, but I still don't want to pay you money because somehow I feel like the style does not match me. Or chemistry. Chemistry is another word. The chemistry does not match me. Okay. This one I don't want to spend too long, right? It is the most sort of superficial part of this entire methodology. Right. So this one, I'll skip this game. If not, it's going to take too long. Okay, so now can you please describe your style? Oh, the MCC coach name is Afni. Let me just spell out. Afni Martin. She's a very good friend. You know, I'm friend with her husband and her children. My son plays basketball with her son. Like we are really, really close. Yeah, Afni Martin. But I didn't take photograph for her. She engaged a professional photographer. Okay, so please describe your style. And then once again, I will choose the most outstanding answer to give my book for free. It's PDF version, not the hard copy. Of course, one day when we meet for coffee, you can always say, hey, remember you gave me the PDF version? Is it okay to also give me a hard copy? I will always say yes. How anyone wants to describe your style so far? Larry is, well, I like the word chic. Right, so I can imagine someone with a very tailored suit, you know, always in pure black. Like that's chic. Open is very nice, Lorraine. You know, being very open. That means when people talk to you, you're not hiding anything. You know, you're very open to possibilities. That's very nice as well. Next says grounding, right? Approachable, down to earth, secured, honest, centered, reassuring, inspirational, energizing, spacious. What spacious? Okay, that's like first time I hear this word to describe style. Calm. That's very nice, Jenny. Hey, Jenny, I know you also, right, Jenny? Okay. There are a few familiar names coming out now. Authentic, bubbly, Ziqi, nice. Yeah. Okay. Due to time constraint, I'll just quickly choose. All of you are wonderful. I'm going to choose Sumi for the combination of arts and science. I love that left brain and right brain combination. Sumi. And I'm going to choose Ziqi because she's the only one who put exclamation mark in the style. Yeah, because you know you can put bubbly full stop, doesn't convey bubbly, but bubbly exclamation mark, wow, that one convey bubbly. Okay, so two of you, please go to my LinkedIn, private message me, say, you owe me a book. Yeah, something like that. Okay, next one. The very last one, just to keep it fun, I'm supposed to end within the next 3 minutes. Please guess what S word this is. Just to keep it fun. What is the S word missing? You know, you need substance to have a very strong brand. You need style to have a very strong brand. And you need this last component, last pillar to have a very strong brand. You need a soul. Wow, okay, that one, in order to be a human, you need a soul. You need sustainability. That one, not really my area. You need to be sexy. Okay, also not really my area. You need sincerity. Maxime, you win my SuperBrand Me book. Very good. Maxime Pie. Okay, is it P or Pie? Okay, anyway, yeah. So congratulations. Go to my LinkedIn, private message me and say, you owe me a book. Yeah, so story. Okay, so story is obviously very useful in every context, not just personal branding, right? I mean, that's how religion spread without the printing press through centuries. You know, people crowd around fireplace or around the what you call it, the center fire fire something. Yeah, anyway, then they start to share myths and legends and stories, and that's how generation after generation spread religion across the world, right? So that's very, very powerful. So I would like to invite coaches to dig deep within ourselves and find the most appropriate story. We have a lot of story, right? A lot. Yeah, but find the most appropriate, most powerful, most deep, and I call it a signature story. Also, my signature story is basically someone who is a corporate zombie, who got paid very highly in the bank as a vice president, but just completely lost, right? That means I go to work just for the bill, just to pay bills, right? Just to feed my 3 children. And this story resonates with a lot of other corporate zombies. And then when I lost my job, then I was having depression, not clinical, but you know, that means I had very low energy, not willing to climb out of bed. You know, this part also resonated with a lot of people. You know, when they lost their job, they felt very low self-esteem. And then when I decided to pursue something I truly enjoy rather than just find another job, this part also resonated with a lot of people, right? So this 3-part story of corporate zombie, losing my job and feeling depressed, and finally pursuing a career that truly resonates with my life mission of abundance. This 3-part story resonates with my target audience. This is too complicated to do now. I invite you to do it as homework. Okay, after the Zoom, don't go straight to bed. If you don't mind, while the memory is fresh, while your heart is still beating very fast, please write your signature story. Okay. I'm going to shoot myself in the foot by saying this. I invite anybody, okay, who has finished writing your signature story to email me or to LinkedIn message me. And I promise you, within the next 3 months, okay, give me some time, if you don't mind, to read the story and give you some of my most honest comments. Right? The comments may be just complimenting you. The comments may be like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Or the comments could be like, hey, you know, the story seems to be missing something at the back. You know, so if you think it's valuable, right, can you please put yes? And it's absolutely free, absolutely free, no upsell, nothing. I'm just very, very curious. You know, what is your signature story? Okay, so no rush, no rush. Take the next few weeks to write, and then I'll take the next 3 months to reply. Okay. Okay, so there's a framework to story, which I'm going to share with you now. Yep. Please, I'm going to share this whole thing through Irina to all of you. Yeah, but since you are still online, why don't you take a quick snapshot of this? So this is the STORY framework to sharing your story, your signature story. And when you look at the description in white, it becomes very intuitive, right? It's common sense. Of course, if you share your story, you must share what happened. Like, oh, I was very burnt out at work. This is what happened. Then how do you feel? I feel like a zombie. I feel like a rat, a lab rat. I feel burnt out. So these thoughts. What options do I have? Should I go and get ICF coaching? Should I quit? Should I just suck it up until my children go to university and get married? Those were my options. What response did I take? In the end, I didn't quit and I got kicked out. So that was the response. And I decided to use the opportunity of retrenchment to turn it into my advantage of becoming a coach finally. And what's my takeaway? Don't wait too long. Sometimes you will regret if you wait too long, you have missed the boat, missed the opportunity. Why don't you grab your opportunity while we are still alive and well and feeling passionate about it? Yeah, so this is a very quick nutshell of a story. Okay, very fast. Move on, move on, move on, move on. And I think we should skip this. And finally, okay, this is the very last thing already. I encourage you to scan this QR code. There's only one thing on this page, and that is a PDF file that is 2 pages long, if I'm not wrong. Right? It was some time since I prepared this, and it will give you a checklist. Okay. And on top of everybody else who received my book, the next batch who will receive my PDF book are those who will download this checklist. The checklist has 5 items. Once you download, I suggest you go through it, the 5 items, over the next few weeks. And I personally believe that if you really diligently go through these 5 things, you will definitely be more differentiated in a very authentic, non-arrogant, non-boastful way. Yeah. Over to you, Irina.
Thank you so much, dear Eugene. So let's return to the main screen.
Yep.
Yes, thanks a lot. Let's give a warm applause to our speaker for the generosity, for the humor, for the energy, and a lot of positivity that you put, Eugene. We highly appreciate. Thank you so much. And looking at time, maybe we will just take one question for our Q&A session because we also need to do a few other things before we stop at 8:30. So if anyone has a question for Eugene, we'll take one question right now. Please write it in the chat. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for the questions, Clive, let's move to our next slide. I would like that we quickly take a group picture all together. So this will be for our social media. All right.
So we'd like to invite everyone, just turn on your video for a minute or two. Let me take screenshot. So, just tidy your hair, make sure you're looking really good. Be able to post this online.
All right. Thumbs up,
Okay,
everybody.
good.
For a
Okay, this
nice
is
branding.
first one. Ready? Smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to the next. Yeah, okay. The rest. This is your moments of fame. Ready? 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Clive. We go back to our
There's a
slide.
question. Yeah, you see the question, Arena?
Yes. All right, we move to the very important part. Though please do not leave because we can only give CCs if you fill in the questionnaire. So please bear with us a few more minutes. I must mention that we have a very important event coming up, and this is ICW, International Coaching Week. starting 13th of May. It's for 4 days, 13, 14, 15, 16. It is our key event where we have amazing speaker, amazing lineup, panel discussions, demo sessions. So please be there. Please make sure to register. So we have 2 in-person days. 13th of May and 16th of May, you will see the QR codes where you can register on Glue Up. Drinks, buffet, everything included. And yes, please make sure to be there. We also have online sessions, and the online ones is the day 2 and day 3 on May 14 and May 15. So everybody who is not in Singapore can still join part of the International Coaching Week, but it is truly our amazing event series. So we really hope to see you there. Last year we had more than 1,000 people attend these events, and this year we also expect it to be a big success. All right, we would like to move quickly to the QR code, and right at the end, we'll take the question, okay? So please take 2 minutes to fill in the QR code, to give us feedback as the organizers for the monthly events, to give our lovely speaker, Eugene, a feedback and what we can improve for our events also for the next time. As you finish and you indicate the email address, this is the email address where we will be sending your CE points within 1 week. Please check your spam just to make sure that you receive that, because we issue the certificates only once. Okay, we take quick minute to fill it out.
Could you share the link for the form here?
Yes, let me just very quickly. I was about to.
Thank you.
Yes, it's coming. All right. On the phone. Yes. Just 1 second. And it's okay. You can also, at the end of our call, you can still fill it out. I just have, for some reason, Clive, can you please
What do you
WhatsApp?
need?
Yeah, for some reason it's not copying.
Oh, what was the request?
To share the link. Oh, I have it. Sorry, never mind. Okay, here for some of the participants who cannot scan the QR code, I hope you're able to open it through this link. Okay, meanwhile, if we have any questions. Okay, 1 second. Let me just check that I'm not missing anything. I'm not sure if that's a question. So we have no two coaches have the exact same story. That's why I choose story, and news channel choose to feature me because of my story, not because of my substance or style. Interesting. Oh yeah, that's Eugene's comment actually. I think Eugene, you're answering to somebody here. Okay, I'm not sure if this got answered in the context of the pillar of branding, substance story. Where do we start to be successful if we are short on time? Did this got answered? And if not, Eugene, maybe you can address that so others can hear that as well. And this will be our last question, and then we'll close our session.
Okay, so I'll answer. If we don't have time, what should we focus on? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to challenge this question first. Yeah, because I'm always wondering why a person say he doesn't have time. Yeah, maybe I rephrase this question. That means if I need to earn money straight away this month, right, which is my situation when I started coaching. I think I didn't say this, but my wife has been a homemaker for 21 years. Right. So the moment I started coaching, I had to earn money straight away. It wasn't like, oh, let me do a side hustle and see whether it succeeds in 6 months. Yeah. So the moment I shared my story of retrenchment on Facebook, 958, the Chinese news channel, picked it up. Yeah, they say, hey, 我可以采访你吗? Can I interview you about your retrenchment? So that got me sort of like quasi-famous straight away in the first month of my coaching. Then because it appeared on 958, so 联合早报, which is a Chinese media, picked up the story and then just took photo for me when I was giving a talk. And then suddenly I look like I'm everywhere. Then after that, 938 Live took this same story, translated into English, and then took a new set of photos. So I guess on hindsight, sharing my story was the number one most impactful personal branding strategy I had. Yeah, and I know some of us struggle with, but my story concerns my father and he's still alive. Maybe I shouldn't share it. Which I respect that. So maybe you should share your second most deepest story, instead of your deepest. Because you want to respect people who are still alive and you don't want to tarnish their name. Also, please think of, be creative lah. Be creative and think of like maybe 10 stories and test it out on your trusted best friend or your spouse and say, hey, darling, these 10 stories, which one do you think can help me build my brand as a coach? And then, of course, your good friends can tell you. And although I'm not one of your best friends yet, please send to me on LinkedIn. I promise to give you some comments whether it's suitable to build your brand as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eugene. I want to thank everybody who joined us this evening for this very insightful and wonderful webinar. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope we each, including myself, learned something new, remembered something that we should have done and are not doing, and that's a really good sign for us to start increasing our brand in the world where coaches really, really need to be very good in branding, because we are already, most of us, I think, are good in coaching when the heart is in the right place. So thank you all for being here. We are very happy to host again our next events. And thanks once again, our lovely guest, Eugene. A warm applause to our lovely Eugene. Thank you so much. It was lovely to have you and host you. All right. With that, I will close off the session. Record.